take my pieces, they go together just like that. So that's dialed in pretty stinking good. Now, if you remember, I already had this cut into my rail before. So here's what it looks like when you have that end cut and the runner cut on your rail. Here's the fun part. They all go together. You might think, wait a second, that doesn't look right. Like I got overhang here, overhang there. I'm not even trying to line things up. What's going on? I cut everything big, remember? These are too wide, these are too wide, these are too long. These are the only pieces that got cut to their correct length because they're captured between. So there's no way for me to manipulate this length. So rails, cut to length. Everything else, oversized. These are too wide, these too wide, and too long. Now, the panel will be cut to its size. What happens next? The panel goes in, it gets glued up. It then looks ugly like this. But the genius of this approach, sometimes when you glue these together, they shift a little bit. That's an exaggeration, of course, but there's a little shift and it's not square. That's actually a big deal because if you're trying to get very tight reveals on a cabinet, just a little bit out of square, when they close and they come together, you'll see, that line will be off. Once these are glued together and dried, I take it to my table saw and I cut the whole thing on the table saw, ripping this to 2.5 inches, flip it, measure the final size. If it needs to be 27 inches, I measure over 27, or really I set my fence to that, rip it again on the table saw. Now it's exactly the size I need, and I know that it's perfectly square because I use my table saw. Then I can rotate it, and I can put it in a crosscut sled, and I can cut this side, and I can cut this side.